As you can guess by the title of this particular pod, this particular stream, this particular video, this particular piece of content, all is not well. Last episode, I said all was well because United had just won in the Europa League, 4-1 on the night, and I think 7 whatever on aggregate. We were through to the finals of the Europa League. But I did preface that rant by saying that performance, that result will not save the season. The season has been an abject failure, a big fat L all across the board for everybody, from the people that work in the office, from the people that work in the head office, people that work in the training ground, from the players to the youth team players to the board members to the owners, especially. Everybody across the board gets an F and an L. 2 grades at the same time. F and L, L and F. No trophies will save that. No trophies will change that. But it was still a big performance. Europe's been our real saving grace as a United fan. But I did say this season's been so poor, it's really hard even to enjoy good runs in Europa League. It's really hard to enjoy good trophy moments, good whatever. It's just hard to enjoy this stuff with this team being as bad as they are. Then, just this past weekend on the Sunday, United faced West Ham at home, and guess what happened? Yes, you guessed it. United lost 2-0 at home to the mighty West Ham. I say mighty because they're not actually mighty. They were coming into they had a bad run of form before they faced us. If I'm not to be confused here, if I go on the league table, West Ham before facing us had lost, drawn, and then suddenly they face United, and guess what? They get a victory. They had lost, drawn, right? They had no wins in 4 games, but they face United, and suddenly they get not even a win. They get a clean sheet. They leave Old Trafford with a clean sheet away from home. That for them is a win because West Ham have been pretty terrible this entire season. Only Manchester United could do that. Only Manchester United could give a team like West Ham the opportunity to win 2-0 at home, despite West Ham only having 9 shots on goal, 4 on target. They still won 2-0. And we had 20 shots on goal, which only 5 were on target. So basically, West Ham had a better shot on target with a ratio than we did. And I'm talking about ratios, I'm talking about stats, because I hope you guys know it's pretty obvious that I didn't watch the game. I'm not afraid to admit that. I didn't watch a single minute of that game. I refuse to watch any of our league games. I refuse. They get me too hot and bothered. Then I'm on spaces, ranting and raving, cursing and effing and blinding because I'm upset. It gets my blood boiling. I don't want to talk to anyone the whole day. So I refuse. I outright refuse to watch us play any league game because we're that bad. I refuse. So I didn't watch it. Hence why I'm talking about stats, because you know me, I never talk about stats. I'm always a person that, obliges by the idea that you should watch football with your eyes. But when it comes to these results, when it comes to this league, when it comes to this performance or this review of the season thus far, it's a hard one to judge and to pass through because there is no denying that us being 17th, are we 17th at the moment? Let me double check the league. Yeah, we're 16th actually. There's no denying that Manchester United being 16th, and the only reason why we didn't get relegated this season, I think, is because the teams that got relegated were far worse than us. The Ipswiches, the Southamptons, and Leicester City, they were just terrible. They were just too bad. There was no way that we were going to be worse than those 3 teams. If we were, then we definitely would have got, would have deserved everything. But I think if this was previous seasons where the relegated teams were pretty decent, we would have been in real big trouble. So we were really lucky that this wasn't the case. But I think when you look at this season and where we're at, I think it's really difficult as a United fan to sit there and say that the manager doesn't have some level of blame as to why we're at where we're at. Yes, I know the style of play, the players, but there's something about him taking over mid-season when we're 8th and then we falter all the way to 16th. That's just completely unacceptable. But with that being said, I'm never going to advocate for Amorim to get sacked, especially given the track record of this club and the complete mismanagement of this club by the Glazers over the last 20 plus years, and the fact that he didn't ask to come at the club. He didn't ask to come to the club, sorry. The club took him out of his contract. They bought him out of his contract at Sporting Lisbon while they're in their season. They're probably going to win the league over there. They're probably going to have a double, like back-to-back winning the leagues, right? They took him out of his contract. I think that we paid about, I think it's at 9 million, 4 million. I'm not sure. Somewhere around the 4 to 9 million mark to get Ruben Amorim out of his contract Sporting. They would have known that he needed a specific brand of players to play his very specific style of football. Now, some could argue, in hindsight, was it wise to have gone from an Erik ten Hag manager who needed specific footballers to play a specific way? Every time we were playing badly, it was always about the players. He could never make do with what was available. He just needed more and more players. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure what about Erik ten Hag sold the owners, but they kept obliging him. I don't think there was a single transfer window where he didn't get money to spend on players. He always got money and a lot of it to spend on players, and most of it he wasted on shit that I Ruben Amorim have as a coach. But Ruben Amorim is the same type of coach. He needs a specific type of player to play a specific brand of football. They would have known that. So it makes you think, why didn't they think of an alternative, which would have been to maybe get a coach in who knows how to get something out of what is available to him, a resourceful coach, a coach that can be pragmatic, a coach that can maybe adapt to what he has and maybe with a little bit of his own style of play. They didn't do that. They got someone that was wedded to their style of play, who needed a specific brand of players. Cool, you get him in mid-season, you pay him out of his contract, you bring all his coaching staff in, you reorganize the sporting directions, structure in around him to, I think, make his job easier, I'd assume. But then when it comes to signing players, you don't sign players. That's the thing that I don't get. So as much as I want to sit here and point the finger at Ruben Amorim and say you should have done better, well, he definitely should have. I think he's even admitted it himself. It's hard to place all the blame on Ruben Amorim when this club refused, were reluctant to, or were unable to get him the players he needed to play his style of football. We still don't have a proper left wing back, really, to be honest. Dogu's come in, but he's somebody that you would expect to be a backup to the main right fullback. Same goes for the right side. The right side, left side of that back five, which is one of the premier, most important parts of an Amorim team. He wants to have high flying, high octane wing backs playing on the left and the right. He also wants to have combative, high octane number 10s playing behind the fucking strikers. Those positions are very important in a Ruben Amorim team. We don't have that. So without those players, you're thinking to yourself, how can you play that brand of football that you were, lighting up Europe with Sporting Lisbon, lighting up your league with, and suddenly you come to United and you look like a shit stain? There has to be a connection there. There has to be something going on there. But the club refused to do it. So in this particular case, if the club were to sack Amorim before the end of the season, I think Omar Barada has to go. Whoever was in place, whoever decision it was to hire Ruben Amorim, if they sack him at the end of the season, which I don't mind if they do, I don't wed it to any manager. I don't give a fuck about these fucking people. But if they get rid of him, Omar Barada has to go too. So does anybody else that's connected to the decision of hiring that guy in the first place, because they should have known Wagwan. And if you can't give him the tools for him to do the best job, then you have to let the guy go and get someone else in that maybe can do the best job given the players that are available, which we didn't want to do. We wanted a strong manager with a strong style of play, a strong identity, who doesn't budge, who's a bit of an authoritarian, whatever it is that fucking word is. I fucking mumble it right now because I'm so fucking angry, and it didn't work out. And now here we are, 16th in the league. So excuse me, I have standards. We're not Arsenal fans. We're not Arsenal fans. We're not just happy being in the race. We're not happy just playing football. We're not happy just scoring goals from time to time. We're not Arsenal fans. We're United fans. We want to see us do well across the board. We want to see us have good cup runs domestically. We want to see us have good cup runs in Europe and maybe win a couple. We want to see us do well in the league and maybe challenge for the top spot. That's what we want to see. We're not happy with finishing top 4. If you finished outside the top 4, you might as well finish 17th anyway. To me, it doesn't really make much difference. But in this reality, considering we've lost so many games in a row, it's kind of hard to wrangle. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hard to wrangle. We have lost 4 of the last 5 games in the league. We've lost 4 of the last 5 games in the league. That's simply unacceptable. Simply unacceptable. And I'm hoping next season there is a change. Me personally, if you would have to ask me, hand on fucking heart, I think this club, this team needs 10 first team players. 10. Hand on heart. 10 first team players to get anywhere near challenging. That's even to challenge. I'm never saying to win the league. I'm saying to challenge. We need 10 first team players. At minimum, if you have to put a gun to my head and say minimum Agostino, 10 is too much. Okay, give me 6. Then give me 6. If you're going to say minimum, give me 6. I'd say, personally, I'd say we need 2 proper wing backs. I'd say we need 2 proper number 10s. And I'd say we need probably 2 not proper attacking wingers as well, aka strikers. I think we could probably do without having a proper number 9. I don't think that's important. We could probably spread the goals amongst the team as PSG do. They don't really have a recognized number 9 playing up front. The number 9 that they do have always sits on the bench and they rotate between, like, you know, basically wingers who can kind of rotate around that front line. I don't think we need an out and out Harry Kane number 9 personally. I don't think that's necessary. We create enough chances. We just need somebody to kind of put them in. I think you can spread those goals around. But if it was me, I'd say minimum of 6. 2 wing backs, 2 number 10s, and 2 wingers playing up front. Those would be my 6. But if you're going to go 10, that would also include a DM, and that would also maybe include a right-sided centre back, and maybe, of course, a number 9 on top. That would make it up to there, up to maybe 9ish, 10ish that we need right now to compete right fucking now. And if he doesn't get that, he's already failed before he started. And I got the feeling if Amri doesn't get back in the summer, he's likely to walk anyway, because he's a man of principle. And to be fair, his reputation is being very rapidly ruined at United. If he stays another season, because I think this season, even his biggest detractors could say, hey, it's not Amrin's fault, it's a board, they didn't get him the best players, blah, 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 da, 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 da. But if next season we play the same way, or we play worse, and we're in a lower position, I think his reputation will take a big hit. And someone like that would, you know, how much he believes in himself, considering all the work that he did at fucking Sporting, he won't want that. He want to get back, you know, on the level that he knows he should be at. So let's see what happens. I'm not looking forward to it. Like I said, the Europa League final isn't a... And I mean, I'm not even looking forward to it now. I really am not. Trophy's not going to save this season. I don't care if we beat Spurs. I don't care if we beat Spurs 10-0. I don't care if we beat Spurs 10-0 in the Europa League final. It will not change how dreadful of a season this was. It will not change it. It's been an unmitigating fail, an L all around. I wish nothing but the worst to our owners, the Glazers. I'm not going to say what I wish for them, but you know what I'm thinking right now. If you know, you know. And I fucking hate this club.